Hours, one of the most eagerly awaited video games.
Halo 2.
Or
Halo 2. Halo 2.
A game that pushed over 2.4 million copies out the door on its first day, outperforming blockbuster movies, was a hair's breadth away from being canceled. Having to rescope the game and cut all the content they had in half just a year and a half before release. This isn't just any game. It's a game that set the world on fire, reshaped an entire industry, and brought Xbox Live to life. But behind the scenes, it nearly cost the people who created it their lives. Stay tuned to uncover the high stakes and hidden battles behind the making of Halo 2. In December 2001, the release of Halo transformed expectations for what a video game could be, setting the stage for its sequel to become one of the most anticipated games of the era. At E3 2002, Jay Allard of Microsoft confirmed what everyone had been waiting for. Halo 2 was on the way, but the path was not as clear as fans hoped. Despite rampant speculation, a 2003 release was far from realistic. Halo had become Microsoft's flagship, their answer to Mario, attracting none other than Bill Gates himself to take a personal interest. This wasn't just any game franchise. It was a project where deadlines were not merely suggestions, but often disregarded completely. This was a culture of games by gamers for gamers, where companies like Blizzard, Valve, and Bungie reigned, not ruled by the ticking clock, but driven by a commitment to quality. The ambition was sky high. Not only did Halo 2 need to match its predecessor's groundbreaking single-player campaign, but it also had to pioneer with Xbox Live support. Alex Seropian, Bungie's co-founder, wouldn't settle for less. Alongside Jason Jones and Joseph Staten, the team embarked on crafting a deep, intricate storyline that didn't just continue the epic saga, but expanded it, bringing the Alien Covenant's battle right to Earth's doorstep. The stakes were monumental, the goals ambitious. Halo 2 needed to be a masterpiece that connected players across the globe in ways previously unimaginable. As the team at Bungie set their sights on transcending their initial success with Halo, they started with a treasure trove of unused ideas from the first game. With renewed publisher support, they were poised to revolutionize. Jaime Griesemer, one of the lead designers, put it boldly. The plan was to triple everything. They revamped the game engine, overhauled the physics, and even began experimenting with advanced graphical features like stencil shadow volumes. But the road to innovation is fraught with obstacles. From the onset, Halo 2 was plagued with leadership challenges. Early development was fragmented. Teams operated in silos, rarely communicating, which led to disjointed progress. The strain of delivering the first Halo had taken a toll on Jason Jones, Bungie's co-founder, and a pivotal project lead. Exhausted, Jones stepped away to focus on another project, leaving a leadership vacuum that coincided with the departure of Alex Seropian in 2002, whose presence had previously eased internal tensions. The crunch time was brutal. In preparation for E3 2003, the team scrambled to cobble together a gameplay demo. This demo was crucial, the first public glimpse into Halo 2. It dazzled with promises of new enemies and dynamic abilities. Yet, beneath the surface, it was a facade. The graphics engine used in the demo was unsustainable and later scrapped. Features like vehicle hijacking, while impressive, were merely scripted events, not truly integrated into the gameplay. As 2003 wore on, the reality of their ambition hit hard. The engine overhaul left them without a playable build for nearly a year. Art and design teams churned out assets and environments that couldn't be tested or integrated, leading to a significant scope reduction. The team faced the daunting task of cutting the game's content in half and reshaping the story and the gameplay to align with the technical and timeline realities. In one stark meeting, the entire team was informed of the drastic cuts necessary. One Bungie employee recalls, "When I started in 2003, they were about halfway through development of Halo 2. About 2 months after I started, we were all called into a big meeting room and told that we were going to be cutting the game from scope, chopping it in half. They started building the game with far too much content to ever ship on time. That meant chopping half the story out of the game, half the content out of the game, and completely rethinking what the offering's value was going to look like. All this while they're still trying to build the scaffolding for Xbox Live. They weren't just building a game anymore. they were in a race to define the very infrastructure of online multiplayer gaming with Xbox Live. All while their envisioned sequel was being pared down relentlessly. The countdown was on, with the Xbox 360 on the horizon and a critical holiday release deadline looming in 2004. The team at Bungie was under unprecedented pressure. The term crunch barely captures the relentless, grueling months that lay ahead. Employees were clocking in over 50 hours a week, entrenched in a marathon of development that stretched on for a year and a half. The mission? To not only match the legendary status of the original Halo, but to elevate it, transforming the gaming landscape once again. As the calendar days flipped, the walls of the office saw more of the developers than their own homes. Bungie's staff sacrificed sleep, health, and precious time with loved ones, pushing themselves to the brink of physical and mental exhaustion. Relationships frayed under the strain of endless hours, and the toll was heavy. According to then-design lead at Bungie, Chris Carney, the Halo 2 crunch was the most brutal development cycle the company had gone through. Tweets from former employees years later revealed the deep scars left by this period. Relationships ended, health deteriorated, and the personal cost for some included heart attacks and divorces. Amid this storm of human endurance, a breakthrough was on the horizon. Max Hoberman, a key designer, was tasked with revolutionizing Halo's multiplayer experience. He looked beyond the cables of traditional LAN parties, envisioning a world connected by broadband. His focus shifted from mere gameplay to the gamers themselves, creating a matchmaking system that prioritized player compatibility and skill balance, aiming to forge a community where fun, fairness, and connectivity reigned supreme. The efforts to integrate seamless online play became a defining moment for Xbox Live. Hoberman's work didn't just advance the game, it reshaped how players interacted with each other across the globe. As Halo 2's development cycle reached its zenith, the stakes were monumental, the expectations colossal. But the vision was clear: to deliver a game that was not only a worthy successor to Halo, but a pioneer of new online horizons. At long last, the curtain was pulled back on Halo 2 at a memorable E3 presentation. The crowd buzzed with anticipation as Microsoft's Vice President of Marketing, Peter Moore, took the stage. Capturing everyone's attention, Moore rolled up the sleeve of his black bowling shirt to reveal a dramatic tattoo, the Halo logo with a 2 emblazoned in the center, underscored by the eagerly awaited release date, November 9th. Upon its release, Halo 2 shattered records, selling a staggering 2.4 million copies within the first 24 hours. Critics raved, fans were ecstatic, and Halo 2 not only solidified the success of the Xbox, but also legitimized Xbox Live as the future of online gaming. Yet, the triumph of Halo 2 brought with it a stark revelation about the darker side of game development. The brutal crunch period that led to its release put a spotlight on the harsh realities of the industry. Stories of developers enduring long hours, health crises, and sacrificed family time stirred a growing dialogue about the need to reform working conditions. It's taken years, but the industry is finally seeing a shift, with more companies pledging to avoid crunch and improve work-life balance. So, was it all worth it? That's a question that continues to resonate in the halls of game developers and among the gamers whose hearts are still touched by the legacy of Halo 2. And speaking of legacies, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the tumultuous creation of a gaming legend, be sure to check out our last video on how Nintendo's betrayal of Sony led to the creation of the PlayStation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about your favorite games.